Today I'm going to be taking y'all along as I prepare some pecans for baking, some yummy foods, and then I'll be freezing the rest for later use through the rest of the winter and into the spring and summer. I'm going to be shelling them, then soaking them in salt water, then dehydrating them, and what this does is it neutralizes the enzyme inhibitors and the phytic acid and just makes the nuts significantly easier to digest and increases the availability of the nutrients in the nuts for our bodies to absorb. So this is just a traditional preparation that I've been doing with all of our nuts lately, as well as our grains. Then I'm going to be making some pecan candies. My children call these sticky pecans, and a classic just pecan pie. And I'll leave both of these recipes down in the description below. But as we spend this time together, I want to talk about 5 shifts I've made in my life over the past few years to make motherhood much more enjoyable. There was a time, mostly back when I had my first 2 children and they were ages 2 and under, motherhood was very overwhelming back then. The daily needs of my children that had to be met by me were very overstimulating, exhausting, and I was not resourcing myself as a mother to be the best version of myself. I was also still working, so that's another story for another day, but working a full-time career and trying to mother and it be enjoyable. Like I said, it's just a whole other story for another video. But when I became pregnant with my 3rd child, I had just left that career and I really started to shift quite a few things in my life that have helped me in motherhood now these past 3.5 years. So number 1, getting outside as much as possible. And I know we hear this all the time and it's just like, yeah, we go outside. We send our kids outside. We go outside and we have certain times of the day we go outside. But no, I'm talking like living our life outside as much as we possibly can. Now, I'm not perfect at this, but this is something we have been striving to do the last 6-8 months, and it has made such a difference. So used to in the past, we would just kind of schedule outside times into our day. We would go for like a mid-morning walk. We would eat lunch outside on the porch. We would go outside for the afternoon to play or tend to our animals. And we all know that children thrive outdoors, but we have overlooked those benefits for the mother in our society today. My children have not quite been at the age for me to just send them outside by themselves, just the way our homestead is set up with our distance to the road, with our pond. It's just not safe for me to send them out by themselves while I get things done in the house. So I just go with them as much as possible, which is kind of a blessing because I can't just say go outside while I do such and such in the house. But now I like to tell my children that we spend the day outside and we only go inside to grab something or to prepare a meal. Now I would eventually love to cook meals outside. That's something in my life goals, is to kind of start cooking over an open fire. We're not there yet. But this has so positively shifted my mental energy as a mother, as well as my children's behavioral attitudes, as well as their sleeping patterns. I believe our modern culture has placed mothers in the home, cooking, cleaning, doing homework, and more, or even working outside of the home, but oftentimes under fluorescent lights, in cubicles, in office spaces, not in fresh air. But you don't always have to choose one or the other. Now, I understand if you're still working and you can't always be outside all the time, but if you're home, a stay-at-home mama, and you've been blessed for that in your life, then you can integrate your life to be more outdoors. You can cook outside. As I mentioned, we're not quite there yet, but it is a goal of mine. I have even prepared some foods outside, like chopped onions for dinner. You saw me doing the pecans outside. In the past, I would just sit inside and do the pecans at night in the dark, but I realized how enjoyable it is to work on food prep outside. And also do homeschool outside. Almost every day we throw down a big blanket and just read and do our lessons while my younger children play beside us at their mud kitchen. So it's the perfect place for me to just watch the younger ones while the older ones sit with me on the blanket. We do our laundry outside. Y'all see me many times hanging up the laundry and then folding it. If for some reason I don't hang the laundry, it was cold or rainy, I'll still take it outside on the porch and sort and fold it. I obviously still have to come inside to clean the house at certain times, but cleaning has become much less intensive since I spend more time outdoors because my children are not making as many messes in the house. There's less toys to pick up. We have overall less toys to manage. Less messes are made when we eat our meals outside rather than inside. So I encourage you just to start small and find one new task that you can integrate to be outdoors today. Then add another, and they add up really fast, and you'll be a much happier mother, I promise, the more time you spend outdoors. Number 2, I sing a song when I'm tempted to yell or get angry or I'm just having a very overwhelming moment in my day. Go-to is the hymn, "This is the day that the Lord has made." And it reminds me that this is is a day that the Lord made, and we are to rejoice and be glad in it, and not to be angry or yelling or frustrated or overwhelmed, but because this is just a beautiful day that He has made for us. So you may have another song you sing. Another one my children love to sing is Shine on Me Sunshine. It's a zippity doo dah day. So just anything to perk up our spirits throughout the day. And my children, I've seen my children pick up this habit as well. They'll just start singing out of nowhere. Children sing all the time anyway, but I can tell sometimes they'll just start singing, and maybe they're doing it to control their anger or their temper at certain times as well. So just singing a song when I am tempted to get angry, I'm overwhelmed, or tempted to yell. And so just find a song that brings peace to you, brings joy to you, brings happiness to you, and just start singing it in those hard moments. And your spirit, your mindset, your behavior towards that action or behavior, whatever's going on, will shift immensely. And then if you have to still discipline somebody, you're much calmer before you move into discipline, and you don't act out of anger, and you act more so out of just a loving, disciplined manner. Number 3 is bringing my children along with me throughout my day instead of sending them away. So this goes for cooking, laundry, even feeding my newborn. Goal has been to try to never use the phrase, go play while I do this task. I'm not perfect at this, but this is a goal that I'm always trying to refine. So when we constantly send our children away, they learn that jobs are for mom and dad and play is for us. So when they get older and then we want them to actually help us and we invite them into our spaces, they're like, oh no, that's mom's job. My job is to go play and have nothing to do with that. But when we bring them in when they're younger, especially when they're younger, because they just learn that they are involved in our day, they love having jobs in our home. My daughter the other day was naming off her jobs that are like her jobs that she's been assigned to help me with. She was so proud that she had 4 jobs because she was 4 years old. And it was just so sweet to hear how excited she was that she had these jobs. And these jobs are like cleaning the table after dinner, like not really that fun of jobs for me personally, but for her, it's such an excitement. She's just so excited to have jobs, and our children learn really quickly that when they have jobs that they help us with and we invite them into our jobs that we do as mothers, that they feel needed, they feel wanted, they feel loved. And it's so sweet to hear their stories they share, the giggles of happiness when they just get to be beside us and with us. So this has also completely relaxed my mind as a mother of having to constantly stop what I was doing, because my children at that point, when I'm sending them away, all they're wanting to do is come back and be with me. So I'm constantly having to stop what I'm doing, whether it's cooking, cleaning something, nursing my newborn, just whatever I'm doing, I'm constantly having to stop and get up and tend to something that they are doing, because they're in this state of wanting to be with me, but I've sent them away. So it's just like constantly like a back and forth, but now they're already just with me, so their cup is filled, just being beside me, joining me in whatever I'm doing, even if it's just sitting beside me, leaning on my shoulder. They just enjoy the experience. Now, I don't cater these experiences to them, especially like in the kitchen, so I just let them join me with what I'm doing. I'll say things like, this job is for mama, and I'll let you know when it's your turn. So I don't make it like they're on a cooking show and like they're getting to do all the action and teaching them every little thing. They learn so much by just watching me do it, and then oftentimes they can replicate what I'm doing without me even having to stop and like teach it to them. So I just go about my tasks and invite them along when if they want to go play on their own individually, that's great. And oftentimes they do, or they'll help me for a little bit and they'll get bored and they'll wander on and do their own thing as a group. Now that I have 4 children that play together, it's so much easier than when I just had 1 or 2 children to play together. So a lot of times it is just, I do get some time to work on these tasks, but when they ask to join me, I never turn them away, or I try my best not to turn them away. It's hard sometimes when you just want to get something done and it's just like, let mama get this done. But I remember how important it is for me to integrate them. And so many of y'all have told me that you've started letting your children help you more in the kitchen when I've encouraged on this topic. So just let me know if that has been an encouragement for you, and maybe you have let your children start helping you in the kitchen. Let me know how that has blessed you down below, because it has blessed me immensely, even the times when I really just wanted to do it by myself. But it always blesses me when I let them join. Number 4, if you've been on my channel, you already know that I'm going to mention this because I talk about this all the time, but as a mother, we need to be nourishing ourselves. We often focus on what our children eat throughout the day and how we're feeding them and making sure they're getting balanced meals, but we often forget that we need food, nourishing food as well. We can't just run on coffee and the extra scraps our children leave on their plates. We need actual food filled with nutrients and especially protein. A lot of times we'll grab something quick because carby snacks are very quick to eat, even if it's just a piece of fruit. But we need that protein to keep us nourished and satisfied throughout the day and not have us getting hangry at our children. I always like to think that a nourished mother is a nourished family. Without the mother fueling herself, the home will feel the depletion she feels and it will just overflow down into the family. So I always encourage mamas to eat within 30 minutes to an hour of waking up. I know that's difficult sometimes. Maybe have just something easy prepared or try like a drink with collagen, just something in your body within an hour of waking. I also encourage you to prepare easy, grab protein-filled snacks you can grab if you start to feel hungry between meals. So I love things like a quick kefir smoothie that I can throw together with collagen from Perfect Supplements, or I have a protein powder from Equip, which is filled with protein, high quality protein. I like just grabbing some cheese or venison jerky. We always try to have that on hand. Speaking of, that reminds me we need to make some now. We just harvested some venison and we've got to get our jerky restocked. Also encourage you to plan and prep dinners ahead of time, or even lunches when you know you're going to be super busy in a super busy season. Prep some ahead of time to freeze, or double or triple prep your meals so you have leftovers to freeze for the next busy day. So just nourishing yourself is going to be nourishing to your family, because you're going to be fulfilled. You're going to be able to withstand yourself throughout the day and love your family as we all want to as mothers. Number 5, this last one you've also heard me mention if you've been on my channel before, and that is getting our eyes and our brains off of social media. Social media blasts other mothers' lives in front of us in these addicting forms, videos, shorts, and it makes us feel less adequate in so many areas. It will start to steal our joy of being present and involved with our children. So removing social media, or at least setting limits for yourself, is so vital for mothers in our modern culture today. I think there are so many conflicting opinions and beliefs all over social media. It makes mothers all more confused to know what decision is best for their family, because we're always comparing ourselves. And I know it's innocent and we want to just get advice from other mothers, but there's just so many opinions and so many views. It's just overall confusing and exhausting, in my opinion. So instead, praying to the Lord about which path to choose for your family, and then seeking advice from actual friends and family members provides so much more value and real wisdom to our lives than the next best mom hack reel that social media is throwing in front of us. Now, I understand a lot of women may not have a village of friends or even family nearby. It took me 4 years to build a community of friendship in the area that we lived when I moved up here. So I understand that a lot of times social media and platforms like this are where we turn to, and I get it. And I'm so honored for those mamas who have said that they have kind of found wisdom here on my channel and told me how valuable it was. And I'm so honored to hear that. And I'm so thankful that you have been encouraged here. But I just encourage you to continue looking for that encouragement in real life, because it's such a blessing when you find it. And until you find it, it's okay to turn to social media, some form of fashion, but I just wouldn't always rely on that, and always just encourage you to find that wisdom from other places in real life, church, friends, family, when you can get to that stage, because it is such a blessing when you can finally have that village and that community around you. But again, I understand that, especially when you've just moved to a new place or you've moved away from your hometown, that it's hard to have initially, because I was there, like I said, for 4 years. I did not have a community around me of actual friends to talk to, and our family was not near us either. So just a little encouragement there. I know that's kind of crazy coming from someone who shares motherhood advice on a social media platform, but I do make a point not to share it in the fast, addicting forms of reels and shorts, and only put out long form videos now, because I just think it's so much mush for our brain that our attention spans have just gone to mush because of the fast pace that social media pushes at us. But I'm so thankful for the friendships and the mamas that I get to chat with here too. But have the best of both worlds. Have the friends through the internet that you can connect with. Don't let social media just turn your brain to mush. but then continually seek those relationships, friendships, communities, villages in your real life. So I hope these 5 tips have been encouraging and helpful. Motherhood can be so hard, and I was there for several years, but I don't think that God meant it to be. He meant it to be enjoyable, but our society and our culture today has just kind of turned that around, as many other things in our society today. So by shifting some of these values in my own life, I began to actually enjoy and love all aspects of motherhood, minus putting the car seats into the vehicle. My husband and I joke that having car seats is the absolute worst part of having children. I know that's so trivial, but other than that, I love pretty much all the aspects of motherhood now that I have kind of implemented these 5 things into my life. Getting outside, putting my anger to a song, bringing my children along with me throughout the day in my tasks instead of sending them away, nourishing myself, and getting off of social media. I hope these are encouraging to you. If you have any more advice to share about making motherhood more enjoyable or easy or relaxing, let us know down below. Again, let me know if you have started implementing letting your children help you in your tasks, and what a blessing how that has blessed you as a mother. And I will talk to y'all soon.